Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived an old man and an old woman. The two of them had no children and had been praying to the gods for a long time, saying, "Please bless us with a small child." One day, the old woman had a strange dream. In the dream, a god appeared and said, "A small kitten will be bestowed upon you. Raise it with great care." When she awoke, the old woman found a tiny kitten sitting in front of their house, just as the dream had foretold. This kitten was different from a regular cat. It was so small that it could fit in the palm of her hand. The old man and the old woman named the kitten Issun-bōshi and raised it as if it were their own child. Although Issun-bōshi was very small, he had a strong heart filled with courage and wisdom. In the village, Issun-bōshi became known and respected by everyone for overcoming various challenges despite his small size. As the years passed, Issun-bōshi grew up, but his body remained the same size, still fitting comfortably in the palm of a hand. However, he began to dream of one day going to the capital to become a noble samurai. The old man and the old woman were worried, but they respected Issun-bōshi's determination. They prepared him for his journey, giving him a tiny needle to serve as a sword and a pair of chopsticks to use as a boat. With these, Issun-bōshi set off for the capital. After a long journey, Issun-bōshi finally arrived in the capital. He marveled at the grandeur of the city and found a magnificent mansion where he offered his services as a guard to the princess who lived there. The master of the mansion was initially surprised by Issun-bōshi's small size, but upon seeing his courage and resolve, he allowed Issun-bōshi to stay by the princess's side. The princess was very fond of Issun-bōshi and kept him close, doting on him. One day, while the princess was strolling through a beautiful garden, a terrifying ogre suddenly appeared. The ogre tried to kidnap the princess, but Issun-bōshi bravely stood up to the ogre. The ogre laughed at Issun-bōshi's tiny figure, saying, "What could a small cat like you possibly do?" But Issun-bōshi was undaunted and used his needle sword to stab the ogre in the eye. The ogre, shocked and in great pain, tried to shake Issun-bōshi off, but the tiny cat moved swiftly, attacking the ogre repeatedly. Eventually, the ogre was defeated, and a mysterious mallet, the Uchid no Kozuchi, fell from his hand. Issun-bōshi picked up the mallet and rescued the princess. Grateful, the princess handed the mallet to Issun-bōshi and said, "Use this mallet to make a wish come true." Issun-bōshi swung the mallet and wished, "I want to be bigger." Instantly, Issun-bōshi grew into a large cat. His brave and imposing figure soon became famous throughout the capital. Thus, Issun-bōshi served as a noble samurai in the capital and lived happily with the princess. When he returned to the village, he reunited with the old man and the old woman, who were overjoyed to see him. The courage and wisdom of Issun-bōshi were celebrated and passed down in the village and the capital for many years to come. And so, they lived happily ever after.